Alright, so welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about how to tell the time. In order to tell the time, first things first, we need to know how to conjugate the verb ser. But we're only going to focus on two of the conjugations, which is the ella es conjugation, which is she or it, feminine it is, and ellas son, which is they, feminine plural, are. Those are the two that we're going to focus on because that's what we need in order to tell the time. So, ella es, she is, or feminine it is. Ellas son, they, feminine plural, are. So, let's see how this works. If you want to ask somebody what the time is right now, you can say, ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? But if you want to ask someone at what time something is going to happen, you will say a qué hora and then the rest of the question. So for example, a qué hora vas al supermercado? At what time are you going to the supermarket? And that's it, la hora is time in terms of telling the time. So for stating the hour, when it's 1 o'clock, we're going to use the formula es la una. Es la una. It is 1 o'clock. It'd be es because it's singular, la because referring back to la hora, and una because la hora is a feminine noun. So uno is one, but because la hora is a feminine noun, that'll be feminine as well, la una. So es la una, it is 1 o'clock. For all the other times from 2 o'clock to 12 o'clock, the formula is son, las, and then the number. So if you don't remember how to count, the video here, in this video we talk about numbers from 1 to 100, so this video will be very useful for telling time as well, especially when we come to the part with the minutes. So for example, son las 5 would be it's 5 o'clock. Again, son because it's plural, more than 1 hour, and las again because it's plural and feminine because la hora is feminine. So if I want to say it's 12 o'clock, how would I say it's 12 o'clock? We know how to say 12, which is 12, so it will be son las 12. Son las 12. If I want to say 7 o'clock, son las 7. 1 o'clock es la una. Remember, that's the only difference there, right? For 1 o'clock, it will be es la una. For everything else from 2 to 12, it will be son las and then the respective number. It's 11 o'clock, son las 11. But if I want to say half past the hour, how would I say that? So the formula is the same part that we just did, like es la una, but then we adding y media. Y media is and a half, literally. It is 1 and a half. For 2 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it'll be son las, the number, and then y media, again, and a half. So, for example, son las 7:30 will be it's 7:30 or it's 7:30. Literally 7 and a half. And it'll be medio. Media is half, so that's why we're using half there. And what about quarter past the hour now? So the formula is kind of similar. We have two formulae, I should say, for saying quarter past the hour. The first one is using the word quarter itself, which is cuarto. So just like we would have said 1 and a half, now we can say 1 and a quarter. So es la 1:15 would be it's 1 and a quarter or quarter past 1. For 2 to 12, same thing, son las, the number, and y cuarto. So, for example, son las 8:15, it's quarter past 8, or 8 and a quarter, literally. Cuarto is a quarter. So, the second way to say this is by using the number of minutes. So, quarter past the hour with 15 minutes past the hour, right? So, that's where, again, the numbers video would come into play. So, es la 1:15 would be, it's 1:15, pretty much. Es la 1:15. For 2 to 12, son las, the number, y 15. Same pattern, right? So, for example, son las 10:15, it's 10:15, or quarter past 10. Quarter to the hour, we also have two main formulae. One is not used as often, but you're still going to hear it from time to time, so that's the only reason why I have it here. But the other one is similar to how we just used the number 15 for 50 minutes past. you will say 45 minutes past. So not to jump the gun, let's go into the first formula, right? So quarter to the hour, we would literally say it is a quarter and then to the hour. So quarter, so one would be es un cuarto, but then we're going to use this preposition para la una. Es un cuarto para la una. From 2 to 12, it will be es un cuarto para las, and then the number. So for 1 o'clock, es un cuarto para la una. From 2 to 12, es un cuarto para las 2, 3, 4, 12, whatever the number might be, right? So for example, it's quarter to 6 would be es un cuarto para las 6, right? The second one, which is what you're most likely gonna hear, is by using the number 45. So it's 1:45, or quarter to 2 would be es la 1:45. Es la 1:45. From 2 to 12, same thing, son las, the number, y 45. For example, son las 3:45, maybe it's 3:45. And I have y in brackets here because sometimes you hear it, sometimes you don't. So for example, if I say son las 4:45, it's the same thing as saying son las 4:45. So both of them mean the same thing, there's no change in meaning whatsoever. So let's look at some examples. It's quarter to 2. You can say it's 1:45, es la 1:45, or es un cuarto para las 2. 9:30, son las 9:30. 4:15, son las 4:15. 4:15. So it's two different words, two different pronunciations, right? Or son las 4:15, if you want to use, it's 4:15. Quarter to 11, son las 10:45, or es un cuarto para las 11, quarter to 11. So what about the other minutes in the hour? Well, it's the same formula, right? It's very easy. Once you know how to count up to 60, you know how to say the rest of the minutes in the hour. So for anything from 1:01 to 1:59, you just need to say es la una y the number from 1 to 59. So for example, if it was 1:35, you say es la 1:35. Es la 1:35, es la 1:35. 35 minutes past 1. Same thing for 2 to 12. You just say son las 2, 3, 4, whatever, y the number from 1 to 59. So for example, son las 9:40, will be it's 9:40 or 40 minutes past 9. So the formula is pretty much very simple and it's repetitive. So the most important thing I would say is knowing the main formulae and then also remembering how to count from 1 to 60 in order to tell the time. So that's all I have for this video. Why did I freeze there? So that's all I have. So that's all I have for this video. I hope it was informative and I'll see you in the next one.